This video was made possible by EA Game Changers. Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am back building in the world of Sulani, and this is actually the first build that I did when I was playing The Sims 4 Island Living at EA Play, and I really like the way this build turned out. It's very simple, because I think I had the same kind of mindset as a few other people. I remember Harry saying this a few different times, that she was feeling like it was a vacation world, even though it's completely residential. So this build is very sparsely decorated. Thankfully, I had more time to do another build, and that one I decided to go a little bit more decorated and go through the debug menu and try to add a lot more details. But this one I still really like. It's a lot more of like a very relaxing, a little bit more modern, even though I used a lot of wood textures and not a whole lot of like modern elements to the whole structure. The windows though, and like the furniture. So you will see that sort of elements implemented in throughout the build. But I really like the way it turned out. I think it's very pretty. And yeah, I totally forgot to mention in my previous speed build in this world that I did get inspired by Rosa and Kristen. I do like to say when I get ideas from people, just to give credit where credit is due, because after I built this, I was walking around and saw their builds and I'm like, oh, they're so colorful, and I really wanted to do one of my own. And so that's where I got the inspiration to do the Surfer's Shack. So definitely wanted to say that. I'm sorry I didn't say that in last video, but I did that voiceover at like 2 in the morning. It's been a crazy time. I feel really bad for the people who had to travel overseas to get home, because our embargo time was very, very short. And a lot of people are still actually in LA for E3, or they extended their stay just to enjoy the city or whatever they wanted to do for their time away. So yeah, it's been a bit hectic. Thankfully, I live pretty close, but even then, I'm exhausted. My voice yesterday was completely gone. I was worried I was getting sick. And yeah, because a lot of people actually were getting sick while we were at EA Play, or as we were getting there, some people were already sick. And thankfully, I think it's just because I either talk too much or scream too much. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but my voice was really gone yesterday. But I did manage to get that one video done, so hopefully my voiceover wasn't too scratchy or annoying. But anyways, so as you can see, the structure of the build is starting to come together. I wanted to do a dock house, of course, because now we have a stilt foundation, so I don't have to force it. Because if you guys have been watching my builds for a while, you know that I've done this a few different times where I try to force a stilt foundation. Sometimes it works, but sometimes there's like weird glitches with it because it's not necessarily supposed to work when you use the pillars. But now we have an actual stilt foundation, and I really love it. And it's base game too. I should probably mention that it is not coming with the pack. So if this isn't a pack that you're interested in, you can actually have the stilt foundations in your game as soon as the update becomes available. I think that's in a week. I think that's right. I'm a little bit unsure about my dates, but I'm pretty sure that's when we're going to get the update. And we're also getting a bunch of new swatches added to the game. So you guys may have heard me mention this like a few different times about the 350 new swatches. This is just to doors. I was completely under the impression that this was going to be like items throughout the entire base game. So I do apologize if I kind of led you guys in the wrong direction, because I talked about this a lot and kind of imagined different things being recolored, and I guess I missed the memo somewhere. So yeah, it's just doors. They're really beautiful door colors. We have a plain black swatch, white swatch, several different browns, and I think grays. They're really pretty. I'm really happy that they did include them, but yeah, I was kind of expecting something different, so I'm a little bit disappointed. But either way, I still really like the door swatches, and I hope that they update the windows as well eventually, because at this point it's just the doors. And I don't know, overall, new swatches to base game is always really exciting. So can't complain about it too much, but I was expecting there to be other items. But oh well, I definitely wanted to say that in case you guys were on the same page as me when it came to the recolors. But the structure of the house, I think this is like the final shape of it. I kind of struggled with it a little bit because I felt like it was looking a little bit awkward with the side pieces that I had poking out. I tried my best. This is definitely not a style that I build a whole lot in, because of course this is our first like true beachy tropical world. But I really like the way it turned out. I like this dock area that I put here on the back. I felt like it would be kind of nice to have like a flat place to walk down to. but for some reason in my mind, I was picturing it not to have stilts, and I was trying to not add like a stilt foundation to it. But if it's underwater, it has to have a foundation because there's the terrain. I don't know what I was thinking, but I still really like the way it looks. I put a couple of lounge chairs out there so you could sit and relax. I kind of imagined that either a single sim would be here or a couple, and it would be more of a vacation home, even though of course this is a completely livable world. But I feel like you could probably make it work somehow if you just had your Sims live here for a couple of days and then move back to their old house. You could pretend that they just went on vacation. I think you can make it work. So that's my idea while I was building it. And it's actually pretty spacious on the interior. I thought it was smaller than it was originally, but the bedroom, I really like the bedroom with the open windows, and those shutter windows and doors are so pretty. And then here you can see the new dresser. And I really wanted to use those lanterns that I just snapped there on the wall, but they didn't quite work, I felt like, for the space. So I decided not to include those. But this bed, you guys, is like the prettiest thing ever. I love those sheer curtains draping over the top. They are beautiful. And these wicker chairs, like, I am absolutely obsessed in these curtains. I love that they're in 2 different pieces, so you have a lot more freedom to use them on different size windows or in just a lot of different variety. I feel like they're going to be really usable, even though they're kind of a little bit stylized, I feel like, for this style. Not too much though. I feel like I'm going to use them all the time. But here I am just separating the living space. I felt like it was way too open, and I wanted there to be like a distinct area from the living to the kitchen and dining. So the kitchen and dining is actually going to be at the back of the build, and then the living area is right here in the front. And I use these new wicker couches that we got with this pack. I am so in love with them. They are the most beautiful couch that we have in game. I love them so much. Like, I want it in real life. You will see it here in just a second. These couches, I love them. A lot of us though were saying how we wish they would have came in a 2-seater version. I really wish they would do that. It kind of makes it hard to use things as a set when there's not a 3, a 2, and then just like a chair that goes with them. So I find that to be kind of disappointing, but either way, it's a really beautiful couch, and I love the chair that matches it. I think there's a bench maybe that kind of matches it. I can't exactly remember. I still have to edit my build and buy overview, so I kind of am forgetting some of the items, but those couches are pretty. Oh, here is the bathroom. So I completely forgot to take screenshots of the bathroom, so I'm so sorry. I thought I did. When I went back to go edit the footage and look through my screenshots, I couldn't find any of the bathroom, so I guess I either was pushing the wrong button, because I remember going through the bathroom in tab mode thinking I was taking pictures, but for whatever reason I don't have pictures of it. But it's a nice bathroom, very simple. I love this open window, and I also really like the shower that I created. So we got a new shower with this pack, and I added this window next to it, thinking that maybe we could pretend that it could slide closed. It's a really nice shower. I like that it looks different to any of the other showers, because sometimes I feel like when we get new items, they're basically the same as we've had before, just a little bit different. So I definitely like that it looks very different than any other shower that we have. And we didn't get any new toilet this time. Doesn't really bother me too much. I think a few people were saying that they wanted a new toilet, but I feel like we always get new toilets, so I wasn't too concerned about it. I feel like the one that I used actually worked pretty nicely, and if you have Spa Day, I feel like the wood tones would actually match pretty well with some of the wood tones that we got in this pack. So I think they'll go together really nicely. But there I just remembered that we got a new side table in this pack, so I just replaced the one under the painting here in the kitchen. And then I have this island here. They did actually not include any island counters, and if I did understand them correctly, that was a mistake, and we'll be getting them. Same with the overhead cabinets, because we did get these shelving units that I'll use in here. I found them a little bit hard to use though, so I'm definitely going to have to mess around with them and maybe try some more modern builds, because they're definitely really modern, but I like the way they look. They're very, different to anything that we have, so that's really nice. And then here on the island, I just have some wine and some fruit, and then I put a little table here. There wasn't like a whole lot of space to do a huge dining table, but since I imagined that either a single sim would be here or a couple, I wasn't too worried about it. Oh, and then we have this shelf in the corner. I am absolutely obsessed with this shelf. I'm going to use it all of the time. Here I'm just placing some items on top of it. We got some really beautiful jars with this pack that I'm going to use all of the time in like every single build. And this little poof next to it, I love that so much. Like, I cannot get enough of these items. They are So beautiful, but I think this is basically it for the build. I'm just adding the final few touches and then we're on to the screenshots. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed and hopefully you guys are looking forward to more builds in this world. If you guys have any ideas, definitely leave them in the comments and I will see what I can do when the pack is released. So thank you guys so much for watching and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!